what memories do you have of the 1960s or early 1970s?
Okay, related to the Vietnam War, we were at Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines when the United States pulled out of Vietnam. And number one, my husband did serve in the army in Vietnam in 1960, in the 60s. He went 1964 to 1965. He was there. But in 1974, we were in the Philippines when the United States pulled out of Vietnam, and it was really very dramatic because they brought out a lot of Amerasian babies who they said would be mistreated if they were left in the country. And they loaded, in addition to a lot of other individuals who had helped the Americans, they loaded people onto airplanes and took them out of there. And because the babies were so small, they laid them on the floor of a C-130 transport plane, put a net over them to keep them from moving around or, being jerked around, and brought them into Clark Air Force Base. And they had military wives who signed up to go on board the airplane, and they would each carry out one baby and take it to the base. Well, they had transportation, but they would take it from the airfield to the base gymnasium where they had put mattresses on the floor. And these women who volunteered would bathe the babies and then help feed them and clothe them and just kind of take care of them. They also had a tent city at Clark Air Force Base where the adults, Vietnamese and American sympathizers who helped the American soldiers, were brought out, and they stayed there until they could get transport to the United States or wherever they were going. It was pretty dramatic.
Okay, and then do you know about the hippies in Haight-Ashbury?
Yes, I was very aware of that, and I think really that a lot of the hippies, so to speak, were people who were opposed to the Vietnam War, and they were, in a way, they were kind of protesting the war in their own special way, and I believe there was a lot of drug use at that time. I was not there myself personally, but just what I read in the newspaper.
Do you remember having an opinion on the hippies?
I think at that time I just thought they were all druggies.
Has that opinion changed today?
Maybe a little bit. I think maybe I'm more sympathetic to what they were, the cause that they had, that they were against the war. They were trying to make a statement, and they were doing it fairly peacefully, but they were also indulging in substances that they shouldn't have been.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.